Good morning. Glad to join you this morning on Good Morning Anambra, the discussion segment of the show. And like I said earlier on, we'll be talking about marriages, love, and why we are having the shortage of it. Marriages no longer last the way they should be. No more in front of the man of God that puts the man and woman together. When they just say, I do, kiss the bride and wear the ring, and before you know it's happened, 3 weeks later, they call you say, oh boy, it bless say, would they hear kweke for this, our motor, our engine. Let's say this marriage won't crash. That's what we'll be talking about this morning. Why do we have all this early marriage crashing, you understand? Even the ones that have even stayed a little bit longer, no longer lose taste in no time. And that's what we'll be talking about this morning, love in crisis, why modern Nigerian marriages are breaking up very fast. And in the studio this morning, we have Dr. Onyi Edokwe, Coordinator, Young Couples Forum. Yeah, Dr. Onyi is, when it has to do with love and the things where follow love, she's well versed and very grounded in that area. Also, we have Professor Ifeanyi Sonny Odinye, a first professor of Chinese language and linguistics in Nigeria. He's also a loving husband and a caring father. Good morning, Prof.
Good morning, sir.
Yeah, we are talking about love in crisis. That topic sounds a little bit, out of context, because love shouldn't be in crisis. Love should be in peace, in bliss. But now, in Nigeria, based on marriage, we are having it in crisis. Let me begin with you, Prof. Why would love be in crisis? Why are we having these crashes in marriages in Nigeria, unlike what we used to have back in the days as African tradition, where you see people celebrating 50 years in marriage, 60 years in marriage, and they'll tell you, don't go and bring the name of this family to disrepute. What's happening with this generation? Is it education being a factor that we no longer feel that, what's the need? The man they give me the kind vibes why I don't need? Well, I can opt out. Please, can you tell us in your own opinion what you think could be responsible?
Okay, thank you, our viewers. I want to answer with an article written by Mogaji Wole. The title of the article is Beyond Ruins, Modern Nigerian Marriages in Crisis, Home Abroad. It's written on 6th August 2025. So it's still a current article. He said, have you noticed the troubling trend sweeping across Nigeria lately? Marriages, especially among couples, young couples, are crumbling at a very alarming rate. Divorce, that used to be a last resort, a shame-laden decision in the days of yore, has now become pathetically entrenched among modern Nigerian couples, home and abroad. So I don't want to read all the articles. You can find time and read it. The article has answered most of the questions we need to. I want to say that the reason why we are having problems in marriage, there are many reasons. It may not be one-sided. It may not be just from the woman or from the man. It can also be from the society. It can also be economy. It can also be spiritual. It can also be emotional. Thank you.
Okay, let's come to Dr. Onyi. You've heard Professor. In your own opinion, what do you think could be responsible for these early marriages that we have these days, based on your grounded experience in matters of the heart?
Thank you.
You're welcome.
The truth is that we always try to make reference to earlier age, maybe during the time of our parents, what they had then, and we fail to understand that time has moved on. People have moved on. Women are now more aware. Women are now more educated. Women are now more exposed. And these are all factors. They believe at this point, I know what I want. They believe at this point, I want to be recognized. I want to be heard, I want to be seen, I want to achieve purpose and live out my and vision. And whatever that hinders that fact, they always want to resist with everything in them. And most often, I feel that marriage tries to play that role, as in trying to hinder women, for those that don't understand. So, and men, on the other hand, always still want to maintain the lifestyle of our fathers, trying to subdue the woman or make the woman to be under their, how will I put it, under their covering or under their authority.
Well, isn't that what the
Control.
Bible
Under their control, without understanding that this woman, this person, and the women we have now, they are no longer at those women we had during the time of our parents. If only we can understand that the time has changed.
Why should we understand?
Because,
why should we?
Okay,
Are we not Christians? Don't we have a template? Is the Bible not the template for us to follow? We had the cases
also,
of Sarah calling Abraham
making reference to the scripture.
Yeah.
I think that even today people have more understanding of what the scripture is saying. Gone are the days when people take the scripture line, hook, and sinker, as in literally without trying to understand what is God trying to say in this. What's the meaning of this thing God is saying here? Do you understand me? And all these things comes into play. And another factor is that most often I think we don't even understand what marriage is all about.
Marriage or love?
Okay, love is all about. When you are going into marriage, when people tell me I'm going into marriage because I love him so much, I cannot stay a day without seeing him. I'll just laugh. Why? Because what I see is eros. That erotic love that is born out of emotions and feelings. And I can tell you, love in marriage goes beyond that. It's just a deep commitment. Love in marriage is a deep commitment. And choosing someone above all things is a deep commitment and partnership. Choosing to commit to this person, choosing to understand this person, choosing to do life with this person. And when you choose to do life with somebody, you first of all understand this person is an individual that is coming from a different background, with a different understanding about life, with a different vision, with a different upbringing, and a different, how will I say it, values and norms. And then you're a different individual coming from a different background. If you're not willing to shift your boundaries, if you're not willing to tolerate, if you're not willing to understand, if you're not willing to accommodate, my dear, don't do marriage. Because definitely it takes a lot of sacrifice. Sometimes sacrifice beyond what you are able and willing to give. When we make references...
You're making it seem as if marriage is one monster that we need to be naked in totality for us to get into. You're not making it seem like something that is sweet, born out of the fact that two people come, hearts align, and then they have a shared vision. Now, let me come to Prof, please. You're married, Prof, because from your introduction here, you're a loving father and a loving husband. What would you say could be responsible for we falling out of what the template of a happy home is with all these early crashes?
Okay, thank you. Having a problem in marriage is not new. What we are discussing is the high rate or frequency of the problem in marriage. Wherever you have two persons or three, because there can be monogamy or polygamy, there is bound to be problem. Even in a normal friendship, we have problems. So the discussion is the frequency why marriages don't last these days. Like I said before, ideologies. When the issue of, like the other speaker said, about restraining, try to not, for most times, women no longer want the so-called control in marriage. But marriage is a bond.
Is it control or to be led?
That is the word. That is the sometimes they how to define it.
I don't understand why a loving father would want to control his better half, but would prefer to rather lead.
In leadership, there is an element of control. It may not be control, so to say, but it may be you are no longer you are under a government. Marriage is like it's not just a union; it's an institution. An institution has a head, a structure. You don't just do as you want. You just don't do it. Even now in ABS, it's an institution. Marriage is an institution where you have the husband, the wife, and children. So even the man is under control. He doesn't just, if as you said, you talk about leadership, you lead by example. You can't say that you're a good leader as a man. You are doing bad things or coming back late or doing bad things or giving example, and you are forcing your wife or children to be under the control of it. Will not work. Most times I tell my wife, I don't even like to lead. Leading is headache. Yes, sometimes some women think that we enjoy leading. Like whenever I come, I told her I don't like to always shouting or talking, correcting, saying dissenting more than many times, and people will not hear you. Who likes to get angry? Nobody likes to get angry. But most times as a leader, you have to always try to do something or say something. Sometimes the people that under you, even as head of department, I've been the head of department, it's a leadership this thing. People, non-teaching staff, I know people that want to take leave. They want to do as they like. Sometimes most of them would like to come late. You must exercise authority, leadership, control over them. But you have to be wise how you exercise it. So we have many reasons why marriages are not lasting. It's not just from women, like I said. It's from women. Some blames or some reasons are because some women are not doing what they ought to do. Some men are not doing what they ought to do. Even the children. I also say about society issue, the pressure, the ideology. Things have changed. I wish that people will also change with times or things. Having a good marriage, like you said, I am a loving husband.
Yeah,
I think
and a caring father.
It's my wife that will even answer that better. Yes. She is the one that will answer it better. And I'm the one that will answer whether she's a good wife or, But one thing is this. Sometimes you may see some husband and wife have been together for 15, 20, 30 years. From afar, you may think that they are having a perfect marriage. There is no perfect marriage. There is no marriage without conflict or any issue. But when it becomes crisis, it means that you cannot manage it alone. You need help. We all have issues in marriage. And marriage, we should bear in mind that it's a sacrifice.
Okay, now let me. We know the aspect of marriage being a sacrifice. Now, let's talk man to woman now. Before marriage will ensue, you probably, when this young man is wooing you, you like him, you've assessed him, you've seen certain traits you like in a man, and he has it. That butterfly in your tummy when he's telling you the sweet things that you hear. And then, women are very analytical. They can plan 10, 15 years just within a sitting. You know that very well. So you don't envisage the future. Oh, this guy will be good. He knows how to cook. He will take care of me. He's hardworking. You've already put that. And then you guys now cut. You now get married. On getting married, you now discover, say, this guy, they bath or inside bathroom. Ladder, they do everywhere, and you don't like it. you will complain. Okay, why did they leave this thing? He wants to use toothpaste. You, from your home, they use it from the end. But this man will just come from the beginning and just press. You complain. Things like this, as little as they are, but every day you complain, and this man does this thing. But you didn't see this thing when you guys were cutting. What do you think changed in that scenario?
Let me tell you the truth. Most often, when people want to get married, there's always this red light, which people always tend to ignore out of the excitement or out of the desire to settle down, especially in the part of women.
Okay.
There are always, you can't tell me that young man that you visited him, because you are coming, he will wash off the bathroom. No. You see it there, but you thought you can change him, or you think he's something that you can manage. You know he presses toothpaste like that. You think he's something that you can just deal with and all that. You know that he's type that goes to club, and you feel you can always go to club with him every Friday. He hangs out, he likes eating out, you think you can do that with him. And then what you fail to forget that one day you'll be pregnant, and he cannot carry a pregnant woman to the club, and you cannot stop him from going to club. And his friends want him to go to club, and he will tell his friend, I don't want to go, my wife is pregnant. And the friend will tell him that you're a woman rapper, and he wants to prove to his friend that he's not a woman rapper, and two of you start having problems. So if you know the things that you cannot deal with while getting married, I always tell people, growing up, it's funny. Growing up, I'm the fifth child in my family, so I had elderly sisters and my brothers. So they used to wash my clothes. I didn't grow up knowing how to wash pile of clothes. Once, because they wash the clothes for me, I'm an old girl, so I can only wash maybe a few clothes that once in a while. So while getting married, I came to my husband's house. We were like, hey, I've seen a wife. So he packed the clothes. He then said, Neme, it's a potato mark. And I came and look at the jeans, the trousers, the everything. I managed and went there, selected his singlets, the ones I can wash. And I washed and I spread. He was like, Nesu Chazia. I said, check, I know that distance. This girl seated there. Funny. I am a girl. I'm sorry. I'm not lazy, you know. But because I didn't grow up like that. Because if you want me, if it's 1, 2, I can do it. But if you expect me that you wear clothes within the week and pile up and I come and stay, it will break me. I don't even know how to start. The sight of it weakens me. And he now laughed and said, okay, me, I'm the first in the family. I washed my younger one's clothes. I'm used to doing that. It's not a big deal. I can do it. I can even do your own. We had that understanding, even up to today. Once he said, he goes, this one is up my wife's limit. So he's not expecting me, because I told him at the beginning. This was one of the things. There are other things that I will tell him, I won't be able to do it. And we kept reaching, as in, to an agreement. And there was a day he got angry when we were still dating. He shouted my name. He didn't call me the pet name. He shouted my name, and I left. And when he came back, I told him, if you cannot see that's your angel, even when I'm wrong, forget it, you don't love me, you're pretending. So there are a lot of things. You know, I was able to explain to him that, be able to separate the woman you love from my faults, so that we can be able to deal with the faults. But if you pile me up with my faults, you'll be judging me for who I am not. Why? Because nobody is infallible, we are all human beings. I can make mistakes without tending to make mistakes. So, but if you love me, we're able to separate this woman from her mistakes so that we can deal with the mistake. So marriage is a whole lot. It's more than just the butterflies in your stomach when you see the man or when you see the woman. There are issues because you're about to do life with this person. Are you going to be able to tolerate his excesses? Can you endure? When we talk about our parents' marriage, most of the people that celebrated 50 years of marriage before our very eyes, it's not that it was all roses. It's just because they were able to tolerate, they were able to endure. Ndị Igbo na-asị na di bụ ndidi. And na marriage bụ ihe ịtọpụ na ngwugwu ekere eke iluo ihe ịtọpeteli nene ya di gị nwoke na-enene nke ya nwa ya na-enene nke ya. Do you understand me? So it's a whole lot. And when we're talking about control, even the Bible does not say that a man should control the wife. No. The Bible says that you should love the wife. It's a woman that will honor you. And I can tell you, when you love a woman, it's easy for the woman to honor you, because she look forward to see, she feels secure in your arms. She feels safe where you are. So he honor you, because a woman, a typical woman, whatever that woman loves, or whatever she appreciates, whatever she values, she protects. That's why we protect our children. A woman is like a lioness. She guides whatever that she values. So when you love a woman loves a man that values and respects her. You can still, you might claim you love her in your own way, but you are putting her down before people. You neglect her feelings. You don't apologize. However you want to apologize anyways, because men, they hardly say I am sorry, but they have ways of apologizing.
And they can apologize, yes, by crediting you with 500,000.
Buying pepper soup, no problem.
You understand?
But the thing is that if you love that woman, it will be easy for that woman to honor you. And secondly, if you love a woman, you don't control her. When we talk about the virtuous woman in Proverbs 31:10, Bible calls her virtuous. And when you look at the quality of that woman, you see that it's a woman that is free to live her life. She goes out for her business. She comes in to cook for the family. He needs wood for the family. She even blesses the husband. And when people call the husband blessed outside the gate because of the character of the woman. Opulon, this woman be woman and her control. She will not be able to possess all that quality. Look at Deborah in the scripture. So whenever you see women, look at Queen Esther. If you see all the women that did this, but they were not controlled. They were simply loved and allowed to live their life. A man is meant to be a covering over the woman. I will tell people, like here, if I want to write my name, I'll write Dr. Mrs. Onyinyechi, which means doctor confess, see who I am. That Mrs. complements the doctor. If I say I'm Dr. Onyinyechi, you say, okay, she's wearing engagement, she's wearing ring, is she married? But when I say I am Mrs., you know that being this, that's the man that is shading this woman. There's the man, a man that she has a covering. So it's not all about control. It's about loving the woman to enable her to be able to live the purpose by which God has called her to do.
Yeah, thank you so much. Onyi, you want to outnumber us, outshine us here, but we're not going to agree. Yeah, we are talking about love and marriage. Now, you said a whole lot. Now, I've heard people say, like Prof said, he's 17, almost 17 years in marriage and the rest of it all. I've heard people that have had 12 years upwards say, thank God I'm married when I'm married, because they wonder what is available now no longer be the right women, chaff, na every man. You understand? You hardly will see a good woman. That's men speaking anyway. Don't shake your head yet. We'll get there. Then on the women part, they go say, what you have here are just men standing with the manhood, but nothing upstairs. You have that from both divides. Now, Prof, coming to this, are you going to, will you say we have both immature people, but age-wise they are mature, but immature in the sense that they can handle the rigors and the lovey-dovey of what love actually entails in marriage, and that's why we're having marriages crash. The immaturity of people getting married now, is that what the mix is? Most men don't even know what they want yet.
Okay. I think I've been a lecturer for 20 years.
Okay.
So I always come across students. I think things are changing, and the marriage should be changing also. These days, young ones are not mature in the mind again for marriage, and they are not strong enough to enter marriage. Marriage is beyond living together, cohabiting. It's beyond the friendship, because in-laws are involved, friends are involved, societies are involved, churches, organizations. So when young ones, these days, most times, a man is expected to maybe do something, learn some skills, and be a man before you can marry a woman. But these days, the men are not, because before you can lead or marry as the head of the family, you have to be able to first of all lead yourself. But these days, I find it that some men cannot even lead themselves. In those days.
So now, men can't lead themselves. Does it mean the parents of those men have failed, or they chose not to listen to their parents growing up?
Like I said, that globalization and Western influence, many things are changing. This, I give an example of this issue of everybody becoming awoke. There was some people I follow on Twitter. Everybody, it's like when I watch Twitter, not Twitter, Twitter. I found out that we have more. Everybody's a teacher. Even the young ones that are not married are teaching you about marriage in Twitter. Everybody is a teacher.
Marriage counselor.
Yes. So the issue now we are having is like you are saying, is it the parents? The parents, if I look back and see my parents and now I am parent, their days, they have support system. They have people around to help. These days, parenting is difficult. It's affecting the children. And now it will also affect their own marriage. Because most times, these young ones, they don't have that good upbringing. Imagine when somebody, I not say that boarding school is bad, but when you spend summer, even entering boarding school at early age, and then from there enter university, from there they don't have that,
bonding with their parents.
So it's a big problem. So that maturity is not there. That is why the major reason, because before you can then talk about, you have to have emotional balance to be able to manage a family. It's one of the reasons why we have a breakdown in marriages.
Now, talking about breaking down in marriages and the rest of it all, we've heard of cases, many cases. I have friends that work in the judiciary, and they tell you that the highest number of petitions that they have right now is no longer land disputes, but is now marriages. Land dispute is distant second. Is marriage. People now, some you sit 1 year, 9 months, 6 months. You'll be wondering, what's up? If in some cases, there was even a case, somebody said the man is married for the very first time, he's 47 years old. And is divorced in less than 1 year. So it's not a case of being age. Young. You understand? This guy is experienced in life, but yet he couldn't sustain marriage. And now, Onyi, your experience, is love enough in order to hold or patch marriage?
Honestly, thank you so much. Just like I said, love in marriage is different from what we call love in other aspects of life. More than love, respect, commitment, sacrifice. You see that word, kindness. Kindness is more important in marriage than what we call love. When you show kindness to your spouse, you expect that your spouse to reciprocate. Understand that this person is tired, this person is weak, this person is sick. Just be kind. Do all those little things that will gladden the person's heart. More than love. I tell you, it bonds together. It makes that person to look forward to also being kind to you. Then commitment. Be committed to that person. Love is not enough. Because it can say, okay, love, and then you go. Besides, it depends on the angle of love you're talking about. When you talk about agape love,
love comes with responsibilities.
The only love that can sustain marriage is that agape love. And agape love is that kind of love that God has for us. That love that looks beyond your faults. That love that does not count your sin. That bears all things. That love that forbears, that tolerates, that understands that, this person is a human being. Now, okay, major. That kind of love that Christ
So
had
it's
that
more
made
like-
him to die for us, even
it's more
before
like you're saying
we
that
were born.
in marriage, before they air you, have it in mind to forgive.
To forgive.
Okay.
Do you understand me? Marriage is something that to do with a large heart. Let me tell you one thing. When my marriage, okay, by the special grace of God, 19th of this November was exactly my 20 years in marriage.
Congratulations.
Thank you. And within that 20 years, I can tell you, I think I've shared that once before. When I was giving birth, my daughter was just barely 1 year, my first child. And my husband went somewhere and then had the story of a child that was given sedative in crèche. And he now came back and said, let us strike a deal. I will not give you the whole world. I can only provide what I can that will make you comfortable. I wouldn't want any of my child to go to school before that child can be able to, before the child will be able to talk and express
Him
or herself. So that automatically means that I will be there to nurse the child. Because if you need the house help, I will bring. But I want you to nurse them yourself. Obugodin a man, Lord. Obu no business, but big whatever that will make you to be here. And this, I thought about it. I said, okay. And this thing now kept me. But see, once we are done, I don't want many children. Once we are done, I promise you, I will give you all the support you need in this world. Power of communication.
Some women will see it as control.
That's what I'm saying. It's power of communication. No, it pays some people, it pays some women, some men will come and impose it on you. But he told me his reasons. That is one thing about marriage, communication. Power of communication. And being sincere in the first instance.
Were you working before?
No, I wasn't working.
Okay.
But even as I was waiting, I had opportunities that kept coming. At some point, one of my auntie became so pissed off with me because she got a job in a bank for me and bank off and all that. But what happened? Immediately, my last baby started going to school. He now said, whatever you want to do.
So how many years did you spend?
I
Should be up to 10 years.
Yes, I spent 10 years. And I can tell you, today this marriage is 20 years. And within that 10 years, I'm working now.
We are proud of you.
I'm working. And I can tell you, within that few years that I work, I know what I have achieved by the grace of God. Within that 10 years, I went back to school, did my master's, and did my PhD with his full support. He didn't take anything from me. Do you understand? And whatever I want to do now, he will say move. So one thing is that you might have a good, marriage is all about sacrifice, commitment, trust, and willingness to even sustain.
But now, why would you be saying this thing? Isn't it a joint responsibility to raise children with moral upbringing and the rest of it?
He wasn't.
So somebody could have said, so my career will be truncated. You'll be making your own money.
The truth is that somebody
so
has to
make.
No.
This is not a joint responsibility.
That's what I'm saying now. He wasn't absent. Somebody has to make that sacrifice. He already has a good job that he's doing, and yet to secure what? I was looking for a job then. So it would be foolish on my own side to say, quit your job and come and start nursing the children. Let me go and get a job that I have not seen. Even Bible says wisdom is profitable to direct.
Okay.
At this point, he has a good job that he's doing, that is taking care of the home. Do you understand me? So I needed to make that sacrifice. He was never absent. He's there. If there's anything that he needs to do as the father, he is always there to do it. It's all about communication, sacrifice, and commitment. And this thing I tell you doesn't even take long, because giving birth to children, training them, before you know it, takes a little portion of the marital years. And before you know it, two of you are left to deal with one another. And if care is not taken, either you lose that marriage while it's still starting, or you grow old, bearing a lot of grudges in your heart. When you refuse to make those sacrifices, when you refuse to make those commitments, when you refuse to be kind to one another, you see a man, because we are strong then, you'll be treating the woman anyhow. Give that woman 25 years. Her first daughter will get married and locate to UK and put the mother to UK. Do you understand me? So
you're giving us ideas, no problem. we are learning that. Now, Prof, let me come to you and then say this. In this day, in this age, you understand, What gender do you think has the highest ratio or higher ratio of this marriage falling apart as fast as it is? Could it be, and secondly, what other factors do influence these modern day marriages to crash? I told you about somebody that was 47 years that was getting married for the very first time, and yet the marriage didn't clock a year. So now, in your own estimation, based on the fact that you find yourself in the academia world, what do you think is responsible for this early marriage crashing? Could it be social influence or whatever means or reasons that you might attribute to it?
Let me thank you very much. Let me also start from where Dr. Onyi stopped. And that will also brought back to what I was saying about sacrifice, and also because it's all about the way Onyi said that her husband talked to her. And sometimes some husbands, you don't expect everybody to talk the same way. But if you know your role, for example now, you have been married for 5 years or 3 years or 1 year, you expect your husband every morning to talk to you or beg you to go and cook. You shouldn't. You should know that this is your duty. Let me say that marriage is a responsibility. You have a duty to play. You have a role to play. So now, it's good that when we talk from experience, from your own marriage. She's married for 20 years. I'm married for 17 years, almost. So now, she said that she spent 10 good years. How many women will still do it? It doesn't matter how the husband explains it. So the issue of sacrifice, many women don't want to, because why the sacrifice may be more on women at home. Not that a man who always go, okay, like only spent 10 years for childbearing and the training. Doesn't mean that the husband didn't sacrifice. The husband sacrificed by going to do the work, get the money alone. But some people may not see it as sacrifice. So it's about mutual agreement, understanding, seeing that we are working together as a team. Everybody must, like a team is like let's say footballers. A goalkeeper is important. A striker is important. Everybody, when a goal is scored, it doesn't mean that it's that person that scores that goal is the only one that should take the glory. Yes, that is the thing. It starts from everybody that has played that ball before the last person. Let's do marriage as something that is, we are working together as a team. We want to achieve a purpose. Going back to your question you asked, the reason, sometimes you see that it's not because somebody married early or married late. There are people who married at 47, at 45, or late 40s, or even 50, and they're still having problem in marriage. So it's not about early marriage or late marriage. The issue of not knowing what you want, I have said it before, family pressure, things are no longer the same it used to be. So we have to adjust in order to accommodate and make the marriage work. I don't want to remember the rate of marriage, even the people I know abroad in Nigeria, the way marriage is breaking. It's so alarming. And with this kind of breaking, it will affect our next generation, our children. We have to be able to accommodate ourselves, try to, find a meeting ground, so that marriage will work, And if, for example, now, there may be a work I will get abroad or in Abuja. Sometimes that's why I'm not always trying to leave home. I'm a family man. I like to be around. I had many opportunities to get a better job or bigger job, or but I say no. There was a time we traveled together at early marriage. I have to travel with when I was doing my PhD. We got married within 1 year or 2 years. Because of that, I have to go with my wife, and we had a baby, so that we have to be together, and we still came back. So when we now I had all the opportunities. Even if I want to do anything, I will not. First of all, my marriage or my family is the first priority I have to check. With this job, my absence affects the marriage and the family. So it depends on what. Some people don't have that kind of commitment or mindset about what marriage is all about, what you want to achieve. If you have a big picture of what you want to achieve, so you will make the marriage work. Like I said before, marriage is not a bed of roses. marriage is difficult. And you must have to marry somebody that you can tolerate.
All right. Tolerate, roll your sleeves and get it work. Oh, you want to say something?
Okay, yes, I want to say something. Thank you very much, Prof. One thing about why it seems to my, in my own understanding, as in adding to what Prof has said, in early marriages, there's always issues. I tell people, when you get married newly, give that marriage 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, 5 years, the chances of that marriage breaking becomes slimmer. Do you know why? Two of you are different individuals coming from different background, different expectations of what you think marriage is and what you are expecting from marriage. Different norms and values. It has been cultivated in you by your parents. What you see your parents do, how you see them live. There are people that in their home, they celebrate birthday a lot. There are people in their home, they don't even know when anybody's birthday is. It doesn't bother them. Then your mother is there. For young girls now, your mother is there, visualizing when her daughter will get married, the kind of in-law she wants to have, and what she's expecting her in-law to be doing for her. Your mother, the mother of the man, is also there, being used to having his son all to herself, dictating what his son does, and all of a sudden a woman emerges. Do you understand me? And the son started as in considering the woman. That was, are you now controlling me? Or before you know it, they will not start saying that your wife is controlling you. Then the man might even have sisters. Do you understand me? That they are used to coming to their brother's house, entering rooms anyhow they want, searching their brother's cupboard, cooking, doing things the way they want. And then, all of a sudden, a woman emerges and starts giving girls and putting up restrictions.
Giving boundaries.
And then, these girls, they are used to calling their brothers anytime they want, and their brother will send them money. And all of a sudden, their brother have a responsibility of buying diapers, of buying stocking house in the food in the house, and more responsible because he's already a family man. And when they call him for support, he will not say, this month, let it be next month. And you start hearing, now since one or wine, or and they are not seeing that this man already now have a responsibility. Your mother is not seeing that you have a man now, that two of you need to focus and build a family. And then the next thing is, papa give melon, and a lot of things. That's why most marriage in a crisis starts when the mother-in-law comes from Ogo. I'm sorry to say it, you not handle young couples. Do you understand what I'm saying? So early marriage carries a lot of troubles. And what do I tell couples? When you are getting married, put that your expectation on ground. Draw a line where two of you meet each other. Let there be a meeting point. We are coming from here. I'm coming from here. Let us meet here and have an agreement what you want. It mustn't be all your way all through. It mustn't be all my way all through. And then, as much as you can, put relatives. Love them from afar. I'm sorry to say that. Love your mother from afar. Men, you as a girl, as a woman that is getting married, if you must get that marriage to work, love your mother from afar. All she needs, you can provide. All she wants, you can give to her. The man, the same thing applies to you. But you see that your marital circle it. Use your hand and build a wall of fire around it that nobody can penetrate. With that, two of you be able to understand each other quick and fast. But if you don't do that, before you know it, by the time the marriage will scatter before you two of you understand yourself. And there's a marriage I witnessed here at Ifite here. That marriage, the young man slept in the car that very day. Why? Because again, next cake. That the girl, she basically ordered the baker to do a full cake. No, and the mother of the man, the mother-in-law is not aware of what the girl did. Only watched that the sister-in-law saw when the girl carried a whole round, a big cake, and gave to her sister to take home. And when they want to go, the woman now said, "Do you want to carry a cake?" The girl said, "No, mommy also nke anọ ngwa ka nkọtụla ebe anyị ndị mmadụ bụrụzie nka unu adọ mandatory and the one na nke the mandatory. That was how Eboku, a lot of issue before you know it, the marriage, before you know it, the girl and the husband didn't sleep, the man slept in the car, the girl left, everything, the girl went to hotel and sleep, and the mother-in-law and the sister slept in the house of the married couple. A lot of minor things, and that was why the marriage started having crack. And I thank God that somehow I came in. So what am I trying to say? If we are getting married, we are coming from a different place. You are coming from a different place. Two of you need to understand yourself first. And if you must succeed, love everybody from afar and build a circle. Have a meeting point where two of you can meet yourself and be able to discuss nke get do and nke man do. Nkunga abolish and nkunga accommodate. Nkunga ember. And it's not one day thing because issues kept coming up every day. Issues kept coming every day. And one still, just as Prof said, unfortunately, young girls are no longer there to learn from their parents. From nursery school, secondary school, when she's beginning to understand what it means to call her, to pronounce her name, she's whisked off to boarding school. Or the men, they whisk off to boarding school. From that, he's coming back. He's finishing secondary school in June. By September, he's entering university. And he'll stay there for 7 years. By the time he's coming back, he's going to his service. By the time he's finishing his service, he's getting a job, he's getting a house, and he's a free person. Who did you understudy? Who did you learn from?
All right.
And the internet is there to teach them. Then the internet is made up with people from different backgrounds. Those that has their own bitterness in them, that are frustrated people that are looking for where to vent and who to draw to their own frustrated life, and they will be the one impacting your children. It's a whole lot of mess.
Okay, well, we'll continue this and then begin to see how we can unravel it and then make the home the sweet place it used to be. After this timeout, don't go anywhere. Let us get to hear from our street parliamentarians on what they have to say about the crisis that we experience in marriages this day.
Marriage is the bedrock of the society or family, the unit family. So if I don't have a background, if I don't have a foundation, if I don't know how it is done, it will be hard, or the grace of God that will help me to give or impact that knowledge to someone. I cannot give what I don't have. If I'm coming from a good home, a good society, it is expected that even if I stray from what is good, even if I stray from what I know, I cannot stray far from what is acceptable.
People no longer trust their spouse. So that's the major reason. Majority of them, live on lies. Lies is the major reason. So many of them hide things before getting married. And when a particular one find out that what this told me is lie, the person might say, no, I'm no longer going.
Nwoke ga na-enwe ndidi, nwaanyị ga na-enwe ndidi. Ebe ọ bụ na ndidi adịrọ, nya marriage ama last. Ọ ndidi. Ndidi bụ anụ ndị na nwunye. Etu amụnwa nọ na mgbe nke anyị, ife ọnụ m abụrụ gagari nwoke. Mana mgbe nke anyị ọ ndidi. Ọ bụrụ na nwaanyị ama akpasị gị iwe, but ọ kpasị gị iwe, inwe ndidi. Ebe amba ibutue.
Some people marry and later they broke. They have they had luck that you see the marriage face them and they can't make it. They can't make it. They decide to dismiss. In such relation of marriage, before you see that you a girl or a man, that is a Spencer. You are a Spencer now. Myself, I'm a bachelor. Example to show between the relation. I decide to look in that I want to have such a relation with you, and you self decide to. We should first of all go back to our home, tell them what we want. You see where the marriage used to break sometimes because this discourages people that are giving people this courage. You marry that person, this and that, but you as a man who acquires such and you a woman and you eventually you just automatically you collide the person that have the same opposite need with you and you say, hey, I don't see my wife. No, it's not like that. You see, marriage is direct from God. No matter people say marriage, no marriage in heaven, but we have a women angel, we have men angel, we have different kinds of nature angels.
Even everything about water each other. Na enwe nruve isi wee nye each other. Maka na Bible say na ọ bụrụ na nwoke ọbụla nụrụ nwaanyị ya love nwunye mana nwunye ya afụ di ya n'anya. Onya bụ na a na-alas ife ọbụla ịfụrụ n'ụwa ka ụwa si wee dị iwere ya ka isefu ya na onwere mara eje dị bụ rice and beans na ndidi bụ ọgwụ ije n'ụwa. Ife ọbụla na-ala asị n'ụwa bụ ndidi ka eji emeli ya. Ọ bụrụ ife niile dị gị mee ka ihe ekwechiri. Sometimes onwe ife ndị mee ineyali nwee nruve isi respect ya each other. Ya bụ na a na-alas.
Heard from our street parliamentarians, they are throwing their weight on the subject we are discussing here in the studio. Patience is all you need in marriage in order for it to work, because no person is perfect and no marriage is perfect. It's not a bed of roses. And that's what we've been talking here in the studio with Prof. and Onyi Edukwe. Now, we've been talking about the marriages here in Nigeria. We've forgotten to, check it out outside the shores of this country. And that's where we have it. Most marriages over there crash on financial, reasons, impetus. That's why most of these marriages crash. And that cannot be said, because when we are well grounded in our traditional ways of doing things and we go over there and we now begin to say, okay, fine, because the laws here seems a little bit relaxed and favoring the women gender, and they tend to maybe take advantage of it. Marriage crash early too abroad, more than it even happens in this part of the world. Faster, you understand that it happens here. And their constitution, their way of life and everything seems it to make it a lot easy, empowering women. Are we borrowing from what we see abroad with the social media and other influences? Prof.
Thank you very much. Welcome back, our viewers. I think the globalization and the Western influence is on us. I think we are emulating them, like Doc said.
And they are not emulating us.
We don't have much influence on them. Like Doc said before we went for a break, social media is a big problem. Not that it doesn't have a good side, but the bad side of social media is affecting the marriage and home. Most times our children learn what they ought to learn from home, from social media, from friends. So marriages abroad, or even Nigerians who are abroad, their divorce rate of Nigerians abroad in diaspora is more than Nigerians at home. Why? Because of the location, the value system there. Most times, it's all about work. Nobody wants to sacrifice again. A woman wants to go to work. A man wants to go to work, like you said, finance. And at the end, that finance may cause a problem. Because most times in life, you'll be pursuing things. It's like pursuing things to the detriment of you get money, at the end you get sick, and you use that money to
take care of yourself.
What is the essence? What have you achieved? So at abroad, the husband is working, the wife is working, they want to make money, at the end, to the detriment of their marriage. The marriage will break and they will divorce. And the breaking or divorce system in abroad is very easy, it's faster. So the same thing is affecting the influence, the Western influence, the globalization, which is everywhere, is affecting the younger Nigerians here in Nigeria, because they want to be like people abroad. These days, people don't even have feel bad or have that stigmatization about the divorce, which used to be. Before, it was a very bad thing. That
They even have there was a platform I saw, single mothers platform, divorced women.
Yes.
They do giveaway.
Petty.
They do party.
Even the divorce party.
Yeah, they do a whole lot of things, and you begin to wonder. So is this thing now something that people celebrate? You understand?
Yes,
To me,
people celebrate because according to some, especially women, whenever they divorce or they leave marriage, they celebrate because they say that they have regained their what? Freedom. Because marriage to them is something that denies them their freedom. And then I will say, before I forget, there is no total freedom even in this life. I know that singlehood is wonderful. It has pros and cons. You have your time to go anywhere you want to go, do everything you want to do. But when you are entering marriage, you should bear in mind that you are losing. I don't know how to say it soft in a way. You are sacrificing your freedom. You are giving, it's no longer the same way it used to be when you are young. So that sometimes some people don't want to adjust, or they cannot adjust when they are in marriage.
They want to be single in marriage.
Very good. I think you have said it. You see, that is a very big problem. So it's now causing a very big problem for especially Nigerians abroad, where work, people go for work. Sometimes they have 3 or 4 works. It's all about work, making money. Going back to the sacrifice Onyi made, I want to say it again. That is a wonderful, I call it an ultimate or spring sacrifice, which is ideal. I even proposed that government will be having allowance for mothers or wives who stay at home at early marriage to take care of the family. These days, what Onyi did, many women of these days cannot do it again, and it's causing a very big problem. It's not about how the husband said it. Okay, let me use my own as an example, how we manage it. We have 3 children now, and the first is 16 years. The second one is 12. The other one is 8. If you observe something, do you see their age gap? Four years.
Olympic year gap.
Yes, Olympic, 4 years. My wife is also a lecturer. She's actually a professor. So I have to do it intentionally. I have to tell her that I don't want, because marriage will most times, as if it's only women that it is tying down. But for you to balance it, to help your wife, you see how Onyi, after 10 years, she went back and do her master's and PhD. It will not stop you. But my own, I didn't tell my wife to stop, because already when I married her, she's already a young lecturer. The same thing with me. We are young when I started. I became a lecturer at 25. So we were young. So at that time, I won't tell her to stop work. But since it's working already, we have to manage it. And we achieve what we want. So I would like to say that it's about understanding and know that sometimes, like the article I said in the morning, earlier time before we started, marriage is not about 50-50. It may be 70-30 or 80 or 60-40. Or sometimes, this is the issue of equality. That it must be, if you do this one, I do this one, we share this one, we do, it will not work. Let's forget about the extreme feminism will not help in marriage. It will see men as rivals, and it will not bring resolution. Rather, it will bring what? Rival. Thank you.
Okay. Yeah. Now let's wrap up. What's the way out of the woods? How do we get these marriages that are crashing early? How do we begin to take the wheels off so that we don't have these early crashes? Remember, we all here are parents, and our children will definitely get married. And we don't want them to have early marriage crisis. So begin to provide solutions so that Prof can add his own voice.
Honestly, the truth is that I will tell people, if you're not willing to stay married, to make the sacrifices, to commit to anybody, you are not willing to support, we are not willing to forbear, you're not willing to tolerate, don't do marriage in the first instance.
Don't venture.
Don't venture into it. But if you want to venture it, prepare your mind to commit to somebody. Prepare your mind to make sacrifice. Prepare your mind to be kind, to be supportive. Know that to forbear and to tolerate. Even those that ordinarily you know that you cannot take. And secondly, when you are married, please be careful the people, the company you keep, especially married, everybody, married men and married women. Don't keep a company of people that are not family oriented because definitely they will confuse you. And if you're a young lady, keep away from those women that want to be married and don't want to, and still want to be single. You want to be married and you're not willing to live the life of a married person. You want to be free to do the things you want to do. Let's understand, and parents, let us also understand our children are watching, especially mothers. Once your child is 20, 25, 22 years, you start praying for a husband to come and marry her. That's the pride of every mother. If you are going to pray for every man to come and marry her, be intentional of teaching that child what's life, what's home, what marriage is all about. And to men also, I tell men, their daughters learn more from them. And their male child also watch them. They have templates. So what do I say? Let's teach our children. Let them understand. Let's do it in a way that we want them to do it. And then, please, for those abroad, no matter how busy you become, don't neglect the conjugal obligations. That's one of the things in a marriage. And then that abroad, you are abroad doesn't make you mustn't achieve everything. Make sacrifice. Do the much you can do.
Okay, no problem.
So that you'll be able to accommodate the home.
Okay, quickly, Prof, so that we round up.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
If we must save marriage, if we must get it right, we have to return to the timeless principle that once made marriage a sacred place. Spiritual foundation, mutual respect, sacrifice, like Onyi and we have always been saying, and commitment. Then we need a community support. Most times the pressure is too hard. Nobody wants to enter marriage and have it in mind to live. I don't think, even if we have, they are very small, maybe very few. But most times it's pressure. They cannot cope with what they, see inside marriage. And that thing is that you must have to know that there are many things. Marriage have to be a change. Being a single person, you were, and now you are in marriage. A marriage is like a school that you will never graduate. So you will see yourself that you are always a learner in that marriage. Every day you are a learner. And with that, know that you will never graduate, even though you have been given a certificate. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you so much. It's really been a lovely one here. You people didn't even talk me out of love. I was thinking that by the time you talk finish, I would stop loving. But then you weren't able to succeed on that. That means I'll keep loving and then understand that marriage is, to me, the effort you put in, you can make it a bed of roses. That's my own ideology about the whole thing. It's all about sacrifice. I want to use this opportunity to thank you so much. Prof. Odinye for being here. And Onyi, the birthday girl. Yeah, today happens to be our birthday. Happy birthday to our guest here. I can't remember the last time we had a guest on live show, and then she was celebrating her birthday. Happy birthday. No worry, I'll buy you one bottle of...
Happy birthday.
What is that drink you take?
Cool.
Okay, cool.
Chilled one with particles of ice in it.
No problem, we'll get to that one. Thank you so much, and that's how we'll wrap it up on the discussion segment on Good Morning Anambra. At 10 o'clock, we shall be bringing to you Akukuwa, and at 10:30 will be time for sports. Don't go anywhere. I still remain Aju Chukwokagwe. Do have a pleasant morning with us. Bye for now.